I followed a viral waxing hack that everyone on my feed was hyping up, and honestly, my skin paid the price. Seriously, I almost ruined my skin. So, if you wax at home or are even thinking about it, please, do not skip this video. It could save you from a lot of pain and a trip to the dermatologist. I'm going to walk you through exactly what happened, the mistake I made that so many people are also making, and most importantly, how to wax safely so you get that smooth finish without the disaster. Let's rewind a bit. I've been waxing at home for years. I thought I knew what I was doing. I have my routine down. I know which waxes work for my skin type, and I'm pretty good at it. But then, I started seeing this trend pop up everywhere. You've probably seen it too. It's the one where people apply a super thick, almost plaster-like layer of hard wax over a huge area, let it dry completely, and then rip it off in one go. The videos make it look so satisfying, right? They pull it off and it's this perfect, clean sheet, and they show off how much hair it removed. People in the comments were raving, saying it was the best, most efficient way to wax. It saves so much time, they said. Less pain, they claimed. So, I thought, why not? If it makes the process faster and easier, I'm all in. That was my first mistake, believing everything I see online without doing my own research. The hack promised a quick and nearly painless way to wax large areas like legs or arms in a fraction of the time. Instead of doing small, manageable patches like I normally would, the videos showed people slathering wax from their knee all the way down to their ankle in one go. It looked revolutionary. So, I ordered the specific brand of hard wax beads that kept showing up in these viral videos, waited for it to arrive, and got ready to try it myself. I was genuinely excited. I filmed the whole thing, thinking I was about to create my own satisfying viral moment. Spoiler alert, it was satisfying for none of the right reasons. So, here's where it all went wrong. I followed the instructions from the video to a T. I melted the wax beads until they were a thick, honey-like consistency. I prepped my skin, or so I thought, with a little pre-wax cleanser. Then, I took a large spatula and started applying the wax to my lower leg. And I mean, I went for it. I covered the entire front of my shin in one massive patch, just like I saw online. The first sign that something was off was how quickly the wax started to harden. It became stiff and brittle much faster than my usual hard wax. But I just thought, okay, that's part of the hack, right? It's supposed to dry into a solid sheet. I waited for it to dry completely, which took a few minutes. I tapped it, and it felt like a plastic shell on my leg. This is the moment of truth, I thought. I grabbed the bottom edge to pull it off. Normally, with hard wax, you flick up a little tab and pull parallel to the skin. But this patch was huge and inflexible. I couldn't get a good grip. When I finally did and started to pull, the pain was instantaneous and sharp. It was 10 times worse than my normal waxing pain. It felt like I was ripping off a layer of my skin, not just my hair. And here's the critical mistake the hack promotes: pulling a large, overly dry, and brittle piece of wax. Instead of coming off in one clean sheet like in the videos, it started cracking. It broke into smaller, jagged pieces. Some pieces came off with hair, but others just pulled and tugged at my skin without removing any hair at all, and a lot of it just wouldn't come off. I was left with these islands of rock-hard wax stuck to my leg. The pain was one thing, but the panic that set in was another. I was literally stuck to myself. I tried to pick at the edges, but it was just pulling my skin up, and I could see it getting red and angry underneath. I had to use wax remover oil, and a lot of it, to slowly and painfully work the remaining pieces off my skin. It took me almost half an hour to get all the residual wax off, and by the end, my leg was on fire. Let's talk about the aftermath. Once I finally got all the wax off, my skin was a mess. It wasn't just the usual post-waxing pinkness, it was bright red, blotchy, and covered in what looked like a chemical burn. It was incredibly inflamed, and little red bumps started to form almost immediately. This is a condition called folliculitis, where the hair follicles get inflamed and infected. My skin was lifted in several spots, which is when the top layer of skin gets pulled off with the wax. It was raw and incredibly sensitive to the touch. For the next few days, I couldn't even wear pants because the fabric rubbing against my leg was excruciating. I had to slather it in aloe vera and healing ointments, and it took over a week for the redness and pain to subside. The little bumps and scabs took even longer to heal. I was so close to making a dermatologist appointment because I was genuinely scared I had done permanent damage. So, why did this viral hack go so horribly wrong? Let's break down the science of it, because this is the part that will protect you. First, Applying wax to such a large area is a terrible idea. Wax needs to be applied in small, manageable sections, about 2 to 3 inches wide at most. This gives you control. When you apply a huge patch, the wax at the beginning of your application starts to cool and harden before you're even done applying the rest of it. This creates an uneven texture. Second, letting the wax become completely brittle is a huge mistake. Hard wax is designed to be flexible when you remove it. It should still have a slight pliability. When it's rock hard, it doesn't shrink wrap around the hairs properly. Instead, it just adheres aggressively to your skin and becomes rigid. When you try to pull it, it cracks and pulls the skin upwards, rather than pulling the hair out from the root parallel to the skin. This lifting motion is what causes skin lifting, bruising, and extreme irritation. The proper technique, which I've since gone back to with a newfound appreciation, involves several key steps that these viral videos conveniently leave out. First, skin prep is crucial. Your skin needs to be clean and completely dry. Any moisture will prevent the wax from adhering properly to the hair. A light dusting of cornstarch or baby powder can help absorb excess oil and moisture. Second, test the temperature. Wax that's too hot will burn you, but wax that's too cool won't spread properly. It should be the consistency of warm honey. Third, apply in small sections in the direction of hair growth. Don't be greedy and try to do your whole leg at once. Create a thicker lip at the end of the strip to use as a pull tab. Fourth, and this is the most important part, let the wax set, but not until it's brittle. It should be firm but still flexible. Then, hold your skin taut with one hand, and with the other, pull the wax strip off in the opposite direction of hair growth, keeping your hand as close and parallel to the skin as possible. Do not pull upwards. And finally, aftercare. Immediately apply gentle pressure to the waxed area to soothe it. Afterwards, use a soothing, alcohol-free oil or lotion. I love something with aloe vera or chamomile. Avoid hot showers, saunas, and tight clothing for at least 24 hours. This experience was a painful but valuable lesson. The allure of a quick and easy hack is strong, but when it comes to your skin, there are no shortcuts. What looks satisfying in a 15-second video often omits the context, the risks, and the proper technique developed by professionals for a reason. These viral trends are often created by people who are UNT estheticians and do UNT understand the physiology of skin and hair. So my advice to you is to always be skeptical. If a beauty hack seems too good to be true, it probably is. Stick to the tried and true methods recommended by licensed professionals. Your skin is your body's largest organ. You have to treat it with care and respect. Don't sacrifice its health for a fleeting trend. I hope sharing my disaster story helps someone out there avoid making the same mistake I did. If you've had a similar experience, please share it in the comments below. Let's help each other stay safe. And if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content where I test things so you don't have to. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.